Hello friends, sending an email from your application is one of the very common requirements in any project that you develop. It could be a small project, large project, but at times we need to send email, for example, sending an OTP for the email verification. So in this screencast, I'm going to share with you one of the most convenient ways to build an application which will be able to send an email from your Java application to the Gmail account. The platform I'm going to use is Java Netbeans on the Mac operating system, and I shall be working on the project type Java with Maven. So creating an application to send the email has certain prerequisites, but I will be talking about those requirements as and when they are needed. So the very first thing that we need to do is start a new project, and we can start a new project by clicking on new project icon and select Java with Maven and create a new blank Java application. Project name, since it relates to email, so maybe I can name it as Java email and finish. So as you can see here that a new project with the name Java email has been created, which has certain subfolders, the source packages, the dependencies, the Java dependencies, and the project files. So in order to make this application for sending email to work, we need to import a few jar files. Now these jar files are an intermediate API which would link your application to the email server, and it will be able to send the emails from the application to the email recipient. And for importing those two jar files, either you can go to the Oracle website and download from there, or otherwise you can even download it from the link which I have provided on the description of this video. So in order to import these jar files, we need to right click on dependency and then add dependency. Now these are the three parameters that we need to provide. One is a group ID, which is com.sun.mail. The artifact ID is javax.mail, and the version we are going to use is 1.6.0. And once you have provided these three parameters, then click on add. One more dependency we need to apply, and that is the Java activation. So I'll call it activation, Java activation, and the version is 1.1, and click on add. So we have technically added description of two jar files, but those jar files are not yet linked. And in order to link them, we need to right click on this and select manually install artifact. It will ask you to give the path of the file where those jar files are stored. So once you have downloaded those jar files from the description link or from Oracle, I strongly recommend that you store them in a folder which is easily accessible to you. And once you have stored them on your local machine, then go to browse and select the jar file. So as you can see that I have already kept them in a folder named mail activation, and from this folder I will select javax.mail 1.6.0.jar, select and install locally. So it will take a little while to build this package and give you the build success message. In the same way, we need to go to the activation jar file, and if you click on Java activation 1.1.jar, right click on this, manually install artifact, go to browse, select the activation.jar, select it and install locally. So we get the build success message, and now our application is completely configured to send an email from a Java application. And after having done the activation of jar files, next is to create a Java application and write the code to send email from our Java program. And for doing that, start a new Java main class. We can name it as Java email sender. This is user specific name, so you can choose any name that you wish to, and then click on finish. So this will give you a blank Java application file which we are going to use to write the code to send the mail from our application to a Gmail account. Now to make things easier for you, I have already written the code which is available on this document, and a link to this document will be provided to you in the description, so you can feel free to copy this code from here and add to your application to save your time. So I have copied the content of that file from the Google Docs, and now I'm going to replace this text with the copied text. So you can see that I have copied the text from that file to here. Now one thing is that in that original file I had the class name with Java email sender, and that was the reason why I created the application with the same name, so that I have to make least changes. But if you have given a different name to your file, then you need to make the changes over here, and wherever you find this name, just rename it to whatever name you have saved the Java file with. Okay, now few things that you need to keep in mind is that since we are trying to send an email from Java application, so you would be needing a few details, and those details are basically the username, the password, the from address. Okay, because unless this application is able to authenticate the user, it will not send the email. So for the purpose of this presentation, I just created a dummy email account, and I have given it a password which I'm going to save after creating this project, so that you can test and try the code with your preferred email ID and the password. So wherever you see the username, password, and from address, etc., make sure that you change the values according to your details. So you can see here there are different places. For example, create and send email. So this is the sender's email. This is the text. This is the title of your email, the subject line, and this is the content of the email. These are a few predefined codes for connecting with the Gmail SMTP. The port number 587 is given, so you don't have to make any changes over here. Here again you need to provide your email address and the password, and even at this place. And this is the text that will go as a part of your email, and once everything is fine, then you will get a success message that sent email successfully. So this is the code which you can use in its original format by just making the changes in the email address and the password. Rest everything can remain same. Obviously you will be changing the content of your email depending on your own requirements. So let's try and run the code now. So if I right click and run, so it's taking a little while to compile the file. It says the form for activation JavaScript is not found, but it's not much of a worry because the build success. And even if you want to remove this message, what you can do is go to dependency, and you can remove this one, the activation 1.1 jar, and let's try if it works. So I'm going to delete okay, let it be, it doesn't matter. So as long as we are getting the email, it's perfectly fine. So I'm now going into my inbox to check if I received the email, and you can see here that hello world, congratulations, this is a test mail email sent by Java class. Okay, and just to be sure that this is the email we have received, which was sent just now from the application, let me go and change some text here in the program file. So here I will say this is the new email, and now let me go and run the file again. So run the file and go back to the application to run it, and then go to the email taking a little while to compile, but it's perfectly normal. Yeah, build successful. So I come back to the inbox and you can see that congratulations, this is test email sent by Java class, and this is the new email. So this is the one which we have sent just now. Now one thing very important that I forgot to tell you is that in order for your email to send and receive emails, you need to make certain changes in your security settings, and that you can do by going to accounts.google.com slash yeah, so you have to go to my accounts.google.com less secure apps, and you can access this only if you have logged into the correct account. So once you go to this link, it will show you allow less secure apps. You need to turn it on. By default it is off in your Gmail, so you need to turn it on. And the reason we are doing it like this is because we are trying to permit the Java application to send an email from this account. And if this is off, then Gmail will not permit any third-party application to use this platform to send or receive email. So since this is an email account you have created just for the project purpose, so there's no harm changing the security to the app access by turning it on. And once you have done this, then only you can send or receive the email. So with this, we come to the end of this short tutorial on sending email from your Java application. You can refer to the description section of this video to download the jar files, as well as to get access to the code for writing the application. If you have any queries, feel free to write them in the comment section, and I'll be happy to help you. Thank you.